what are the three big mistakes investors can avoid from being scammed in 2023 during this recession?
Number one, you have to listen to people that are financially free from investing. After I got that message yesterday, shout out to the queen saying that she lost 300 grand. I was like, what made you listen to them and not me or somebody that it's like, they were marketing so well and they were so aggressive in approach. And ladies always say this, like anybody that's too aggressive with you in approach usually is not best for you. Number two, when I say do your own research, I want to define that. So I want you to watch at least 20 episodes of Market Mondays. I want you to go look at the earnings of the company for the last 5 years. And then after that, I want you to go talk to 10 family members or friends and ask if this is a good investment. During 2020, and part of 2021, everything was going up in value. And I said it, they are going to let people get money for this after the PPP thing. They're going to let people make money to offset the losses that are going to come for the next few years. We have to do a better job at also calling out those who don't know what they're talking about. Because I feel like all of a sudden they saw this show get hot and then it was like, well, my version of podcasting isn't working. So now I'm going to come here and try and do this and replicate, and we've even had conversations with people. And then the next week it's like, they got a financial literacy. I'm like, you don't know how to even open up your checking account. Like, how the hell you got an investing show? What?
Stranger things have happened.
So, and thirdly, I want us to stop being so hungry to flip for the short term and focus on the long term. And I know, man, that 5-year, 10-year-ish is not sexy, but any money that I made from Red Panda or investing year one, any money that they made from Earn Your Leisure year one is not the same bag as year 5. Look, listen, I keep saying it, they're glowing. Troy getting happier, he filled with joy. Rashad happier. I'm getting happier and learning grace. Things are good, man. I think we're too short-sighted. And often because we have deep debt, we want to get a big bag of money, but the same tool set that you have right now that caused you to get into debt or make financial mistakes, I don't care if you get 300,000, 400,000, you're going to blow through 400,000 in 3 or 4 months. And everyone's like, yo, not me. But will you study now 2, 3, 4 hours? And that's the bare minimum. Even with the Floyd clip, like people are talking about dedication and people in the comments like, oh, I don't take that much. I can do this in 4 hours a day. And I'm like, I love Tim Ferriss. I bought every book he's put out. Even Tim with all the VAs and creating that industry, he works way more than 4 hours per day or 4 hours a week. Focus on the long term. I want you guys to get rich. And this is the last thing I want to say. Sometimes you are committing fraud and finessing yourself by listening to some of these people. If people wouldn't be gullible, there would be no reason that a person can tell you that they can make you 1,000% in 1 year and you believe it when you can see that they don't have 1,000% return lifestyle for themselves. Impossible. So do your research, only listen, and you don't have to solely listen to me. But man, if you would have listened about the Facebook drop, the rise of TikTok, Apple going into healthcare, Amazon going into healthcare, Bitcoin going to 20 grand. What else was I screaming about in Vegas? You would have been the NFT market falling apart. You would, and on these and doing better when I say this, for those of you who know how to short these. If I say, hey, something is going to drop, short it. I remember even in Coinbase when we was in Miami with Terrence, and I was like, hey, Coinbase could be in some trouble. People's like, man, Ian don't know Rashad. Why the hell you keep doing the show with Ian, even though I brought the idea and say, hey, let's do a show.
Shorted.
Coinbase went down as a result. And if you are an exchange and crypto is going to save the world, why the hell can it save the brokerages that hold it? Be careful. Do your own research. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. And I'm going to ask you this. If listening to me would have made you 4x or 5x more, please put yes in chat. You get to keep all the money this year. 2023, we're going to change some rules though. Go to ianinvest.com and join our group trading chat while the price is still low, because it will be going up in 2023. But what about you guys? What do you think 3 things people can do to prevent from getting taken advantage of in this recession?
I think just in life, in any economic environment, avoid investing in things that you don't understand. That's extremely important. If something sounds like it's too good to be true, it usually is. And have firm, realistic expectations before going into it.
You were an advisor, right?
Yeah.
You guys have met a few billionaires. I don't know how many millionaires. Has any of them behind the scenes told you like, hey, I put all my money into this one project or coin, or did they all have diversified business models?
Diversify. You gotta diversify. It's important. So I feel like people, like I said, they just don't have a realistic expectation based off of a variety of different things, lack of information, lack of education, social media, different things of nature. So that human history, that allows you to get scammed. So put your thinking caps on. Use your intelligence, not your emotions. And that's like golden rules for life, really.
Yeah,
I'm
think what you
I
said.
got you. Go ahead.
What you said is that speculating, like trying to find the next thing. Like you said this every year for the past 2.5 to 3 years. It's like, look, we don't have to look for the next thing from the thing that's here is working. And so a lot of times when we try to look for the next thing, we start speculating and we try to take gambles. And it's like, for what? Right? Like we want that quick flip. I remember like, and even when we were in Vegas, I was there for that rant with you. I was like, he was going crazy up there. But it was like the young lady asked me, yo, how do we make a quick flip? And I'm like, we got to change the mindset on that. Like, we're not here to quick flip. We're actually here to create wealth.
And I know that's not sexy.
I know it doesn't feel right. It's like, yo, but I need money now. But I'm like, yeah, like we got to get out of that mindset of instant gratification and we need everything right now. That gets us nowhere.
And if you need money now, because the thing is, we was talking before we start recording, I got to get a place out there in New York. When I get the bill for what it would be, I'd be like, whew. The thing I do love about New York, though, the energy of it, and everyone's on the move. If you need money today, then you have to get up and work. Like if the average person that is not financially free is working 8 to 10 hours a day, and they ain't getting on the subway and traversing everything that goes on through New York and, stepping over the rats and all that, right? Why do you think you can work 2 hours a day in the middle of your house? And like, I ask them all the time for reference, how many hours a day do you guys work? There hasn't been a time that I've messaged them in the last year. And Troy's like, man, I'm just at the crib playing Yahtzee. I hear Rashad, what you doing? Like, and Rashad is working on stuff too. You can see when his brain turned and he did this. I'm like, yeah, he figured out another idea. He figured out another idea. Like, you have to put the time in, and it's not the sexy answer, but it is the answer that is going. And let's take Floyd, Joe, familiar with his work schedule, Steve Harvey, Beatty, Loon, Charlemagne, Detavio. How many hours on average that when you guys talk to them, how many hours are they working? And they have staff and support.
They're always working. Always. That's why, and that's those things that so you don't see everything that goes into it, right? Like you see like, end product of it, but there's work every day, almost all day. Like, and even with Joe, we were talking to him, he's like, days off. Like, bro, do you realize how fortunate we are to be in the position we're in, to actually do what we want to do, to talk about topics with the people that we actually like in this world, and to have people.
And to be Black doing it.
And yeah, and be Black doing it. It's like, no, we're very fortunate. So why would we stop? Like nobody's going to outwork it. That's just always been the model. Nobody's going to outwork us. The things that we're willing to do in the spaces we're willing to travel. Like even last week, we were just looking at the schedule. It was like 4 days in a row, we were in a different city. Right? And episodes are still coming out. And you know what I mean? There's a lot of other business.
And planning for 2023 and other bit. And I'll say this too, for everyone, and I'm not just caping because I do the show with them and I have a relationship with them, but when some of you are getting upset at Troy and Rashad, You cannot be jealous of their success for the work that you didn't put in. Trust me, I would rather be playing with Xander right now. Rashad, I'll see him go to a basketball game, get on the plane, come down, touchdown, and leave. No shower. Hey, let's go ahead and record. 2023 can be your best year ever if you build the right team, number one. Number two, you don't need an accountability partner. You need accountability to yourself. And if you work on your craft every day, 7 days a week for 3 years, you will have the greatest explosion in your career.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.